Hi there, welcome to my first video after the Great Guitar Build-Off, and thank you to all the new subscribers who have joined during the Great Guitar Build-Off and everybody who gave me some great feedback on that guitar. So, next build. So I'm now making a new guitar for somebody else, and it's going to be based loosely on a Firebird model. So we've made some modifications to the design, and the purpose of this video is just to show you a little bit of the progress and also to post one of the main design decisions. And I'm making this partly for the benefit of the customer, who can see the different possibilities laid out, and partly because I thought it was of general interest to anybody who wants to watch this sort of thing. So let's see what we've got so far. So I drew out the design of the whole guitar, and this is it. It's actually a left-handed Firebird, so the customer is left-handed, of course. And I've drawn that up as accurately as I could based on various pictures that I found online. I've also made a side profile of it because it's going to be a neck through, and I wanted to design that and make sure that I get the angle of the neck correct in particular, based on the bridge that we're going to use, which is a shallow signal. And I've got that just here, in fact. So that was my preparation, and what have I got so far? So I said it's a neck through, and here is the through neck. So this is actually an 11-piece through neck. It was intended to be 9, but I needed a little bit of extra width. So we've got purple heart in the centre and on the edge. There are a couple of little strips of Bubinga on either side of the purple heart, and then on each side again we've got a couple of thin strips of maple with a bit of Paduk in the middle. So quite colourful. Hopefully that's going to look really nice when it's actually been sanded and finished and everything. So that is going to be the through neck. And you can see that we've got plenty of length there. So we are going to have the body, which is Bubinga, and I've got the two sides here. Now Bubinga is lovely. It's a very nice wood, very beautiful, very solid and good to work with, but it's also extremely heavy, and so I'm going to chamber this quite heavily as well. But there we've got the two parts of the body. We've got a headstock. Now, for a couple of reasons, I'm not actually doing what you'd normally do, which is to cut a scarf joint in the neck and then twist that bit round and re-glue it. Largely because the pieces that I had weren't quite long enough to allow me to do that. It's also difficult when you've got a laminate neck to do that operation and to get all of the different strips to line up absolutely perfectly at both sides. And so I decided that instead of that we would use a piece of the Bubinga for the headstock. So I've got this here which will be glued on. The other little thing I've done, because I thought it would look cool, is I've made a sandwich. I've got a thin strip of maple in the middle here, just to look nice. I think that would look quite good. And it will also have another partial veneer on the top. So this is currently 13mm thick with a couple of millimetres extra, 14-15mm. It should be the perfect depth for the headstock, and that will go on there somewhere. And then we've got the actual top, and the top is a very pretty set of spalted maple top here. Let me show you that a little bit more closely. And when that's got a finish on it, that's really going to come out, and the colours will look super. and I got these from luthierwood.com, which is a new supplier of exotic woods, set up by John Ambler of Ambler Guitars, where I did a course a couple of years ago now, almost. And John Ambler has a lot of really nice wood on there, so if you're in the market for very nice woods for particularly tops, but also other parts of the instruments, go and have a look, luthierwood.com. So what we need to decide is how to do the top, and there are a number of different options. I've got 6 options basically, split into 2 parts. Now, there have been a lot of different models of Firebirds over the years, and some of them have a ridge going down the middle, which is essentially just cosmetic, and the pickups and the bridge sit on that ridge. And so the question is whether we replicate that ridge or not. And the intention at the moment is to do it, but it does present some design questions. So let's first of all look at the options without a ridge. And the first option obviously is just to use the top as it is, and not to show the through neck running through the middle. So that's option number 1. Number 2 is then to split it up and to have the through neck running through the middle like that. And let me show you as well the width of the bridge and of a pickup. There will be 2 pickups, but I've got one here just for the width. So you can see that the through neck is not wide enough to actually be the full ridge itself, because when you have the ridge running along the middle of the Firebird, it's a little bit wider than the bridge, and so everything goes on top of that. So that's, say, option number 2. Option number 3 here could be to widen this a bit more and to put a strip of something else down there to look visually like the ridge, as if there was the raised bit, but there isn't actually, but you just make the colour difference. There's also another offshoot of option 2, call it option 2A, where we would bring this in and only show the purple heart down the middle, or possibly the purple heart and the extra little strip of babinka down there. So call that option 2A. And then we've got essentially the same set of options with the ridge. So we have the top entirely without anything showing in the middle, but then I would route out a couple of millimetres depth on the sides here, so that we do actually have the raised part in the middle. And that would be option 4. Option 5 would be 5 and 5A, let's say, so either the option with just the central piece or the option with the entire through neck in the middle. And then we again would need to route a little bit of the top out in order to create the ridge. And the final option, number 6, would be that we widen this, add some extra wood in the middle there again, and then we don't need to route out the top, we just drop it down a couple of millimetres to create the ridge. So those are basically the design choices that we have at the moment. I'm looking forward to seeing this come together, and obviously we welcome everybody's opinion. If you want to comment on this and say what you think would look good, the final decision is going to be the customers, of course. Anyway, I will probably do another video on this guitar a bit later on, showing how it all comes together. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I know my customer is, and I hope you are too. Until then, stay safe, have fun, and see you soon.